All right, you guys. So there have been new updates on the Spencer drama, the Spencer Mama Max drama, or you know what? It's not really drama, it's falling out. So a lot of you guys also hi. Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Okay, anyways, a lot of you guys were not a lot of you guys, but some of you guys in the comment section were like suspicious of Spencer. And I'm not gonna lie, when I made my video on Mama Max and Spencer, I had my doubts on Spencer and I had a feeling that Spencer was lying and stuff. And this is kind of the stuff that's coming out about Spencer is kind of moving me towards Spencer is lying. And there's also some inconsistencies and lies that I'm catching Spencer in. Right? So, you know how she had the Give, Send, Go fund that was put out, that she put out to help get money, right? And somebody donated money. Well, it seems like that was kind of like a scam, or either Spencer is lying about it. But anyways, when we get to that, I'll explain. So yesterday on the Mama Max discussion, and I don't interact with this. I don't type anything on this Reddit, but y'all, this Reddit is so juicy. I love reading this Reddit. Y'all are on top of it on the r/Mama Max discussion. Love you. Shout out to the Reddit. Anyways, okay, so the Mama Max mod team posted this from somebody that goes by the username of Heyyy Heyyitsl. I don't know how to say their name, but they posted it on behalf of them. And the post starts, the truth about Spencer, submitted by user /Hadiesel. Let me know what you guys think, what their username is. Okay, anyways, okay. I have known Spencer since I was 15. I want to clear the air. She's always kind to me. It hurts me to post this, but also she kind of abused my empathy in her to the fullest. And I know somewhat enough, I think, to make a credible post and have receipts if needed. She did go missing at a point in time, but knew of Max and Max knew of her. Camden did have Spencer go to Georgia. So we all clearly know this, because there's also like video footage of Spencer and Camden, like Camden's kissing Spencer's neck. Like they were very much interacting with each other face to face. So yes, this is confirmed. I do not disagree with this person. So far, what this person is saying is factual. She says she talked her way into getting on a bus when she told me the story after years of not seeing each other because of seeing Camden and the whole situation. Then reconnecting, she told me he bought her the ticket. I still believe this person's account. I would think Camden did buy Spencer the ticket. Also, Spencer's been known to like not really work, so I'm not surprised that Camden bought Spencer the ticket. Much like how Mama Max paid for Spencer to live with him. So I'm not surprised by this. I never knew about the vampire werewolf stuff, but she wrote fan fiction about it, and I feel maybe she was lost on the internet, that this fantasy could be real to her. I don't know. She never told me she could recruit other young, or she never told me she would recruit other young underage girls for him. So I thought it was kind of weird. Like somebody was saying, I think it was Morrow that was telling me that he's another YouTuber, friend of the show, was telling me that like it's odd that she was like blatantly admitting that she was like getting other underage girls for Camden, but like Mama Max just like ignored that fact. And I do think it is weird that Mama Max did ignore that specific fact about Spencer. And a lot of people did not like that about Spencer. She never told me she would recruit, and this is something Spencer like definitely admitted, that she would recruit other young underage girls for him. She told me he was doing this to other girls, and it was a cult that other girls were involved in. I think she hid this information because of how it would look when I found out just yesterday through an edit clip of their podcast that she basically groomed girls. I was disgusted as we bonded over being groomed. That's really sad. You know, people with predatory behavior kind of they have a tendency to like we were talking about it yesterday with in the Onision video in regards to Mama Max, how like people have a tendency to groom or manipulate vulnerable people, right? You know, people that are manipulators are going to naturally gravitate towards people that were groomed because they're easy to manipulate. So this is really sad. I felt for her. It's called I guess it's like trauma bonding. I'm not quite sure. I felt for her. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay, guys? I felt for her because I had a bad situation happen to me before, and I understood her. And when I found out she did that and never told me or others that I was friends with who would hang out with her, and she would casually share this story often, never mention grooming or bringing in other girls. I guess because of that reason, she was grooming. She has no disability. I myself was paid to take care or to take her to get checked out so she could receive disability checks. Essentially, she was denied because there was no disability. Later on in our friendship, she mentioned a guy that has a YouTube channel, Mama Max, who was friends with for years, wants to help get justice for her and other girls, and it would take some years to do this. I thought it was great because she'd be willing to get justice. So it's interesting how how Spencer's just like, I just like, okay, so me covering her Give Send Go fund and not being able to pay for her dog to get transported from El Paso to Greensboro, North Carolina. I thought it was interesting that like she can't afford it. Like she can go and donate plasma, but she can't go get a job. And it's just like instinctually you would want to go get a job. Like that's kind of your number one priority. That's your first thought of, if I can't afford to do this, you would go get a job. So it's just interesting that it's happening that way. And that Spencer is just kind of one of those people that just absolutely refuses to get a job. She opened up about her many miscarriages. Now, Xylee, I remember Xylee's coverage about this because Xylee was not super familiar, but somewhat familiar with this stuff. And Xylee's coverage kind of like proved that Spencer was sort of over exaggerating regarding the miscarriages. I'm not going to be insensitive because I know people that have gone through miscarriages, and miscarriage, and going through a miscarriage is a very serious thing. So I wouldn't doubt that she had at least one miscarriage, but four miscarriages within a certain amount of shortened period of time, I put X to doubt on that. Maybe one, but four, okay. She opened up about her many miscarriages, and as someone who miscarried, I also felt bad but in the back of my mind, I found it odd the amount of miscarriages she had in the course of a couple of months and years. I don't blame you. But like, okay, so it's that a miscarriage is the kind of thing that like you don't want to be the jerk to like question people on. Like you would like to hope people aren't lying about that. And Spencer has now like made it possible to where people actually do like lie about stuff like that, and it's unfortunate. It was too many for the body to not physically possible, and the timing of the pregnancy and miscarriage never added up. But again, I allowed my emotions and empathy to get the better of the truth. I thought I remember in Spencer's interview with Mama Max where if Mama Max like asked if these were like confirmed pregnancies, and I thought I remember Spencer even saying that they weren't confirmed pregnancies because she never took a pregnancy test. So it's like, how do you even know you're miscarrying if you never even confirmed the pregnancy because you never even took a pregnancy test? So I was always thrown off by that. My mom had also 3 miscarriages in the course of 6 years. You can't have 5 miscarriages in a course of a year, And I do agree with this person. It's very odd. It's very odd. Anyway, not to trauma dump, she would share these stories with other people I would introduce her to, and they would always tell me that she's lying, but she's so deep in her lies that she believes them. Again, this is why I always say it is the lies that you tell yourself that are the most detrimental, because eventually the lies that you tell yourself, you eventually believe, right? You don't want to be telling yourself lies because they are the most detrimental. You start to believe them. I have a friend who he is a psychologist. We all went to a club together and we went to meet her. He said she definitely has trauma, but from that unhealed trauma, she has developed a victim mentality and even believes the lies she says to say being a victim. She cannot have normal disagreements or issues. They have to be extreme. At the club, the moments she was not the center of attention, she wanted to leave and forced us to end early. So this is, if you're not the center of attention and like you have to ruin things for people, I feel like you're a narcissist. There's like some narcissistic tendencies there. She also asked to live with me. As someone who was in a domestic abuse situation years ago, I felt for her abuse from situations she would talk about. I felt bad. I wanted to help, but I needed her to know she needed to work. I also had another roommate at the time, and they didn't feel comfortable having her there and live because they felt that we would become caretakers and she would not actually work, as she is openly adamant that she cannot hold a job because of this disability that has never been addressed. Like what exact disability that you have? She has never said that she's like she has an autoimmune disease. She's never specifically outlined what disability she has that she can't work. I think once in a live stream with Mama Max, Spencer has said that she's like has a mental disability to where she can't work. But I put X'd out. As someone with a physical disability and a mental one, I still go to work every day. Everyone had shit going on. You work to improve your life. I wrongfully felt I could encourage that on them. I pay $1,500 in rent, have 2 jobs. I let her stay with me for a week because of a certain situation was getting more abusive, as she claimed. So there's that pattern of behavior. The situation that she's in, that she has to, oh my God, I have to get out of the damsel in distress. Got to get out of it. I'm being abused. I have to get out of this domestic abuse situation. Like she did it with Camden, now she's doing it with Max. I guarantee you the next person she lives with, she's going to do it with them. I just paid my expensive rent and had $10 or $20 to last till the next week. She openly complained about the food I had bought as it was till next check, which was gross frozen meals and vegetables. I kind of became offended because, hey, I'm trying to help you, you know. That raised a red flag, which should have had a flag raised long ago, but finally became wary and immediately took her home the next night. I don't blame this person. I would actively send her jobs hiring near her in walking distance. I would tell her about Lyft. Okay, so she doesn't have a driver's license, and they will cover your rides till you get paid. I kept telling her ways to improve her situation, and she wouldn't. From there, I just ghosted her. I didn't want to, and I felt bad she had responded in some angry messages. But I didn't know how to confront her as someone who's been through a lot of bad shit. I was unsure if she was telling the truth and I was being rude and not believing, or if she was lying and I'm right. I became very confused. I don't know why, but I did. And I typically have a really strong head on my shoulders. I had feelings for her as well. You can say what you want, but the way she made me laugh, I also found her beautiful. Okay, I'm not going to judge this person for the way that they felt towards Spencer, okay? You know, you're attracted to whatever you're attracted to. If they were attracted to Spencer, they were attracted to Spencer. So I don't judge. Anyways, we stopped talking, and a year later, we reached out and apologized for everything. I forgave her, and I apologized for not being able to communicate to her, but her trying to force herself to stay in my apartment and saying she could feed me and take care of me to make up for not being able to work. And all of a sudden, more drama and abuse was getting worse and worse. Something was not right. She also had a partner online, and they finally met twice within a week of meeting up. She all of a sudden miscarried from having sex and admitted that he didn't come in her. Okay, so the math ain't mathin'. Math ain't mathin', Spencer. If he didn't come in you, then you didn't miscarry because he didn't come in you. You can't get pregnant if somebody doesn't come in you. Semen, that's not how that works. Okay, math ain't mathin'. I was like, okay, that's such a lie, which is another thing that made me back off. When I saw her posting on Facebook, I checked in to make sure she was okay. She was living with Max. She says he is not A-wording her, just being verbally aggressive, and they are not in a relationship. So this is weird. I find this odd. If you're outlining that you're not in a relationship with Mama Max, this makes it weird. Why do you have to outline that you're not in a relationship with Mama Max? Like, this makes me feel like Spencer has feelings for Mama Max, and it's not reciprocated. So now she's lashing out. But I don't know. But Mama Max is also weird with women, so yeah. I'm not going to be charitable towards Mama Max, but this is odd. Why is this being outlined? I'm not saying it's odd on the person that's outlining it. It's odd on either Spencer or Mama Max. She also asked me not to post anything because people were harassing her. When I realized what this all has to deal with, I felt like making this post. I think Spencer had a habit of wanting to live with people to escape and not put effort to work or improve. This cult essentially holds no substance or sustenance, and a lot of it is embellished. Were these other women victims victims most definitely, and her I cannot speak on, but she definitely has a habit of using people, and I think Mama Max thought he was going to get some fame out of it, but realized there was nothing there. Okay, so the way that the fallout happened with Camden and Spencer was that there was like this third wheel woman that Camden was paying attention to besides Spencer. So Spencer's not getting the main attention, right? And this third woman had more money than Spencer, right? And this woman started to accuse Spencer of stealing her money. And Spencer started, from what I remember, okay, guys, don't direct quote me on this. From what I remember, Spencer started taking offense that they were being accused of stealing this money. And it was like thousands of dollars. Now that things went south with Spencer and Camden, and Spencer's being accused of stealing money, Spencer went to Mama Max. And now there's finances and things going south with Spencer and Mama Max. And finances, I'm not surprised that finances are being mixed in the middle between the two of them. It's kind of like history repeats itself. It's tragic. And also, Mama Max was more than happy to bring Spencer around. Mama Max allowed Spencer to run that channel, and a lot of people, a lot of the YouTubers, myself included, although I was really small at the time, I only had a couple hundred followers. I wasn't even at 1,000 followers or subscribers. A lot of people were telling Mama Max is that he's the YouTube creator. He runs the channel. Spencer should not be telling him how to run the channel. And essentially it was Spencer telling him how to run the channel. And Mama Max was kind of just taking it up the butt and just blindly listening to Spencer. Because it's a victim, guys. Oh my God, I have to worship her. It's tragic, sorry, but I'm sure Spencer went through stuff. But Spencer lies and steals. See, there we go. Spencer lies and steals. They stole my Coraline doll, and my dad got me in high school. So again, Camden accused Spencer of stealing money. Camden accused Spencer of stealing money, and then that's when things started going south with Spencer. When Camden started accusing Spencer of stealing money. So I'm not surprised about this. They stole my Coraline doll. So I get that it's a Coraline doll and people are like, "Oh my God, it's just a Coraline doll." It's the principle of the principle of it, right? Spencer stealing. That's the principle. That's the point. Spencer steals. it's a silly thing, I know, but it's my favorite movie and my dad got it for me. Like, it's how crazy to steal a doll. They have a habit of making themselves a victim for people to feel sorry. And again, this is establishing a pattern of behavior. This Spencer has now established through a means of like a group of different people on separate occasions, not knowing each other, separately saying that Spencer steals. Okay, guys? So it's Spencer establishing a pattern of behavior. This is now a pattern of behavior. They have a habit of making themselves a victim for people to feel sorry, and will even find a new lie to match up to your trauma. If they aren't the center of the attention, they become sad and start trauma dumping so everyone would listen. People don't want to bring me around anymore because I was hanging with her, and I don't blame them. It's all bullshit. That's it. That's all I have to say. I'm sure Camden did something, but the whole role playing taken too far. They can work. They can get the job. They aren't being accused in a way. They are being broadcasting it to be. They just don't want it put into work. She says that Max owes her $5,000 and she never received it until she finally bugged him enough and he would pay her installments. I think the videos did not get enough views, or he did not receive the revenue he thought he would off of her, and could not keep the agreement of money. And some of the money he did have already that he gave her, she has used to get out of the situation, as well as donating plasma and moving back to a location. Now that this is the truth, and I don't know what she told me when I asked her what she is doing to get out of this situation. They both essentially used each other, and it's backfiring. The money should go to the victims. It's being used to get back to a location. The installments are apparently $660 a month. I think Max didn't starve her, but tried to get her to improve herself, as many have tried to, including myself, but they view it as harm. This is just a thought. I have no evidence to say he isn't doing these things. The same thing I informed her of doing to homes or reaching out to communities that can help her, or working. I mentioned if she works a month or less, she will have money to leave, but instead she got money through donations. Also, every person I would introduce them to, they would change their stories up to where when these would talk to other person, be confused because they told one person one thing and told me one thing. Max should have fact-checked before allowing this, and this will be one of the many things of his downfall. I do not disagree with this. So there are screenshots. And this is Spencer. And Spencer is writing, so I ended up moving in with a YouTuber that was supposed to help me expose the cult as it was my last resort. He promised to cover food, medical, everything. Well, he only wanted to help for money, so he never paid any of my medical from the start. He was buying food at first, but then he tanked his career. You also tanked it, sweetheart. It wasn't just him. You did too. It takes two to tango, which in turn has people convinced I'm a bad person. Again, there's that victim mentality mindset. Person like him. So people are stalking me online. Okay, so like a Reddit account that's keeping track of her is stalking. Again, the victim mentality. You need to be held accountable, Spencer. It's not stalking. It's people that are trying to hold you accountable and wants me out because he's not making money off of me, but still wants to try and make money off of me. He got me a dog and had to move me and had me move everything I own to anchor me. I figured out a foster for my dog until I figure a permanent housing out. And my big issue is I need someone willing to drive a full 18 hours from Dallas to here and here to back. I have the U-Haul trailer figured out, but I'm panicked because if I don't get out after my dog leaves on the 15th, I'll be stuck here until after my birthday, and I have no way to really feed myself. I've been living off of donating plasma because I was limited to remote work, and I don't qualify for anything remote due to my experience. I just need to be back near blank. I know. He's not physically hurting me, but withholding funds were supposed to be mine since January. Saw me struggling, donate plasma just to feed my dog and myself, gaslights me, and also tried to convince me to break up with Michael. He had $5,000 that he was supposed to give me as funds for the survivors of the cult, but everyone else fucked off. I asked for the money every now and again, but excuses was always something about bills. I finally remembered again today. He's taking $1,700 in expenses, so I only get $3,300, and he wants to do it in 5 payments of $660. I got my first payment today, but it's covering my dog's transportation. So here is the lie right here, guys. So the Give, Send, Go she created was to get the dog from North Carolina to get the dog from El Paso to North Carolina. Now, supposedly, the $660 that was given was covered to transport the dog. So she was given $350, and nobody knows what she used that money for. So she scammed, y'all. She scammed whoever donated that money because she did not use that money for what it was intended for. Or she possibly used that money for what it was intended for, and she's not being honest with this person, whoever she is talking to. So to sit here and say he wants to do it in 5 payments of $660, I got my first payment today, but it's covering my dog's transportation, that's a lie. That is straight up a lie. She's being deceitful. I wouldn't be me at this point, I wouldn't be giving her money because she's not even being honest with where the money is going. She's kind of, at this point, I kind of feel like she's pulling a Keffels. My friend to foster him. It's the same back a bit, or setting me back a bit. If you make a post, please don't name me, as people in Reddit are stalking me because of this YouTuber, and I don't want to add any fuel to the fire, but hey, even calling around means the world. I'm taking what I can at this point. And then that's the end of the thread. I just absolutely think it's gross. I think she's just taking advantage of people and everyone. I feel like she took advantage of the Give, Send, Go fund. She got extra money. She's not being honest with where the money is going. She, or at the very least, she's being inconsistent. So she's saying, "Oh well, I used the $660 to transport my dog, but the money from the Give, Send, Go is also transporting my dog." I mean, it could be a possibility where she's like using the combination of both amounts to transport her dog, but I don't think it's that much to transport a dog. Because then that's like what? Like almost what? How much is that? Like, I don't know, like 350. I think it was like 350 that she got from the Give Send Go. 350 plus 660. Yeah, that's like $1,000. I don't think it's $1,000 to transport a dog unless you're like flying the dog out. It's no, I don't think it costs that much. So like she's not being, at the very least, she's not being honest with what she's using that money for, or she's not being consistent in her statements. So I find it very interesting. But I'll keep you guys updated. I'll let you guys know, or I'll keep you guys updated if there are any more updates or if people further talk about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to continue seeing my content. I would appreciate the algorithm boost. I love you guys. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Bye.